Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Boardman Chamber of Commerce. We have a great presentation this evening. First, I'd like to introduce Andy Boone from Collette. He's going to be explaining the collaboration between the Boardman Chamber of Commerce and Collette for a trip that we have scheduled in May to the French Riviera, and for another trip that we have scheduled in November of 2025 to Iceland, the Northern Lights. Take it away.
Hello everybody, thanks for having me today. Shout out to Heather and Tori for putting together this great partnership between Collette and the Boardman Chamber of Commerce. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks to all of you for joining online. My name is Andy Boone, I work for Collette, and we are going to talk tonight about group travel. So for those of you who are not familiar with group travel, I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about Collette. First off, Collette has been in business for 106 years, so we've really perfected the art of group guided touring. And you're going to learn today about Collette's philosophy, the different travel styles, and then we're going to get into the meat of the presentation and talk about the French Riviera and beautiful Iceland. So first off, a little bit about myself. My name is Andy Boone again, and I've gone on several of the Collette tours, Shades of Ireland, Colors of Morocco, Sicily and its islands, and then most recently American Heritage featuring the Greenbrier Hotel. I've had a magnificent time. And I'll talk a little bit about those tours later with some photos at the end of the presentation. But first about Collette. So our tour philosophy, we'll talk about that. What does guided touring mean? We'll talk about the elements and the value associated with guided touring for all of you as passengers. We'll talk about the tour styles that we offer. There's 5 distinct tour styles. And we'll also talk about why travelers love Collette and what makes us different in terms of the travel protection plan that we offer. And so we'll get right into it. So Collette's tour philosophy. For Collette, it's all about curating tours for culturally curious travelers. And it's not just about the iconic sites. It's also about featuring cultural connections and making sure that you as travelers have an opportunity to connect with people, whether that's domestic travel or international travel. So it's more than just the iconic sites. It's cultural experiences as well and connecting with the locals. We really pride ourselves on tour pacing. So you'll see multiple night stays as best we can. It allows you to have a more immersive experience and a more relaxing experience. We also have less time on motor coaches and more time in destination. That's also really important to you as a traveler. Some people have in their mind's eye, a bunch of people following reality. There's technology that's applied now. So you'll have what we call a whisper unit that you can clip to your belt or put it in your purse with an earbud. So you can actually enjoy the guided tour portion of your experience, quite a distance necessarily from other people in the group and or your tour manager or tour guide. So it starts out with free transportation from Boardman to PDX and back. So it's a beautiful way to start your trip. You don't have to worry about driving to the airport. You don't have to worry about parking, no parking fees. Nobody has to wake up early to take you to the airport. So that is the case both to and from Portland International Airport. And then secondarily, our hotels are centrally located. So when you're on tour, you'll have the luxury, when you have free time to explore on your own, of just stepping out of your hotel and you'll be right in the mix of activity. You won't have to jump into a cab or an Uber to get to where the action is. We handle your checked baggage. So when you get off your airline and you grab your checked baggage off the carousel, you'll be responsible for rolling it to the motor coach. But then from that point forward, the motor coach company, in combination with the hotel concierge, will manage your checked luggage to and from your room and back on the bus until the very end of your tour. Very, very convenient for you as travelers. You'll just be responsible for your carry-on item and your personal item. We have best-in-class tour managers. Many of them have been employees of Collette for 5, 10, 15 years or longer. There's a lot of pride in service delivery. They're experts. Your tour manager, think of them as a guide, a tour manager that covers all details of the tour from A to Z, and they're with the group for the entirety of the trip. They stay, and you'll build quite a friend by the time your tour concludes. They're also flanked by expert local tour guides to add additional levels of knowledge and expert culinary experiences, which you'll see here in the presentations, and you're also going to have great cultural experiences while you're on tour. And because we've been in existence for 106 years, options to access some of the sites and features of the tour, which is really important. Lastly, what sets us apart as a tour operator is that we have a travel protection plan that will really benefit you. It enables you to cancel your trip per trip. You'll get 100% of your money back in the form of a refund, minus the cost of the insurance policy to get into the meat of the presentation. Okay, so again, the worry-free travel protection plan, you can receive a full refund anytime, any reason, no doctor's note necessary, prior to the day before your tour. And you'll also receive medical assistance, evacuation, and baggage loss or delay coverage as well. Okay, and again, hometown pickup, a beautiful way to start your trip, complimentary transportation from Boardman to PDX and back. Okay, tour styles for every type of traveler. We have classic, explorations, spotlights, cruising, and faith. And we'll go through those just really quickly, top line. Classic tours, average size of the group is 37 passengers up to a maximum of 44. Classic tours are really about the icons at a value-minded price. Approximately 100 of them offer explorations, or small group explorations as they're called, 14 to 24 maximum travelers, hotels, smaller eatery, get anywhere else. And it stands to reason because there are fewer people on the tour, you're going to have more engagement with your tour manager and your local expert guides. If you travel to a safari, total as a maximum. Spotlight tours, in fact, one of the tours that we're presenting tonight is a spotlight tour in the French Riviera. It's perfect for people who want that 5 to 9 day getaway, stay at the same hotel, unpack just once, and really have an immersive experience in the local culture. And your tour manager will be able to give you all sorts of tips in terms of, where to find the best wine, where to find the best croissants, etc. And then lastly, cruising. We have some excellent cruises, river cruises, and cruises on the Dalmatian coast. You see a picture here of a small ship cruising experience, 18 cabins, a maximum of 36 passengers, plus crew. And those are beautiful experiences. You get to actually float while you float. There's a jacuzzi on the top deck, which is always fun, and you navigate some of the most beautiful waterways in the world. And then lastly, faith-based tours. We don't offer these through the chamber. However, if people are interested, if local community members are interested in faith-based tours, please reach out to the chamber and they can direct you to some of those tour opportunities. So a little bit about how we've evolved over the last 106 years with Collette. Again, one of the ways to experience in their culture is through food and gustatory experiences, right? So we offer home-hosted meals, cooking classes. You have some pictures here of a family teaching the travelers how to make paella in their backyard in Valencia, Spain. The ladies on the right-hand side there, they are in Vietnam in a cooking class. There's all sorts of really unique ways that we encourage you to engage the locals in the destination through food and specialty meal opportunities. And then likewise, cultural experiences are very important. Here are some samples of the types of things that happen on a Collette tour. In Japan, you can meet the Ama pearl divers after they free dive. You can have a meal with them and ask them about their culture and how they got involved in free diving. In New Zealand, you get to meet the Maori tribe in a welcome ceremony, and the tribal elder takes you through the city of Wellington and talks about the historical significance to the tribe of all of the key areas of the city. And then on the Icelandic tour, you'll be able to relax in the Blue Lagoon, which is another special experience, especially since the temperature is a little bit chilly on the outside, but the lagoon is nice and warm in the water. And then ultimately transportation. All sorts of unique ways you can experience culture through transportation. For example, when I was in Morocco, I was able to ride a camel. People who go to Costa Rica, where zip lines were invented, can zip line through the forest. You can stay on junk boats, you can dog sled in Finland or in Alaska. So all sorts of interesting ways, again, you can engage a different culture by way of transportation. You can also stay in style if you want to experience the Aurora Borealis by laying prone in the warmth of your own glass igloo. You can do that in Finland. Or you can stay in the Mackinac Island with no traffic noise because there's no motor vehicles allowed on the island. You can stay at the beautiful Grand Hotel, which has the world's longest porch, 600 feet in length. Or, as I did in the Colors of Morocco, you can stay in a luxury tented desert camp. And I've got to tell you, when you're in the Sahara Desert and all the lights turn off, you cannot imagine the constellations that pop out. Okay, so 5-star touring with 4-star plus accommodations. There are some exceptions on the faith-based tours based upon the humble surroundings, but all other tours are 4-star plus accommodations. And we list the accommodations in our flyers, whether you receive the flyer electronically, manually, or you visit the all of our hotels are posted, so you can Google stations. We're the most inclusive tour operator, meaning that most of the activities and experiences that you'll have on tour with Collette are included in the overarching investment between. Most everything designed by Travelers for Travelers, experts that handcraft and personalize. If you travel to Portugal, it's a destination expert that's Portuguese that's handcrafting that tour experience. Founded and created Choice on Tour. That is an opportunity for you as a traveler to choose how you'd like to spend a portion of your tour. For example, in Costa Rica, you can choose to zip line, or you can choose to do a walking bridges tour for a beautiful experience, but not quite as fast or brisk as zipping down a zip line. So all sorts of unique opportunities on Choice on Tour. Culinary immersion and cultural experiences, we talked about that. One-of-a-kind experiences, very important. The hotel's centrally located, so you can just walk right out of your hotel and have incredible experiences during your free time. And then, of course, transportation that's unique, as well as the best tour managers in the travel industry. Okay, there are ways to personalize your adventure, starting with airfare. The pricing that you'll see tonight as we go into the presentations is premium economy or business class. That whole dining experience as options. Optional excursions are also available. Again, most of the activities are included in your investment, but there are a few optional excursions on occasion. And then lastly, pre-nights, post-nights, and tour extensions, important to mention. In destination, prior to the beginning of your tour or following, basically depart earlier than the rest of the group to destination. We'll help arrange your airfare, we'll help have unguided free time nights. And then ultimately, if you want to go on a formal hosted guided tour extension, that's available to you as well. Okay, so people always ask, well, first, travel experiences. I know it's important to the Chamber of Commerce here in Boardman to create community connections, not just with the members of the Chamber, but also community members at large. You'll also gain inspiration through other people and cultures. And you'll recharge your batteries in some of the most awe-inspiring, beautiful settings on earth, guaranteed, especially on these two trips that we're focusing on tonight, the French Riviera and the very rugged and beautiful Iceland. And then ultimately, participating in Travel with the Chamber supports the Chamber of Commerce and its mission to build a strong community and the greater community through a network of business, community, and tourism partnerships. Okay, today's presentations, we're going to talk about the Explore the French Riviera, May 8th through 16th, 2025. We chose that date because it is a perfect shoulder season and it's before all the massive crowds arrive in the French Riviera. And then Iceland's magical northern lights. Of course, the whole goal is to catch the Aurora Borealis or the northern lights, and that would be November 10th there with the intended purpose of taking in the awe-inspiring northern lights. Okay, so we are going to talk one tour at a time. Okay. We're going to start with the French Riviera.
Okay, I'm going to move this over and attach it real quick. Sorry.
That's okay. Let me know when you're ready.
All right. Like me right now.
Seventh inning stretch?
Yes.
Okay. Are we back on?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this first tour we're going to highlight and feature is Explore the French Riviera. It's 9 days, 12 meals, and if you're asking yourself, wow, is this an austerity program? Is it a weight loss program? No. It's just that not everybody wants all of their meals provided. People like to explore on their own and find those little niche cafes and special little eateries on their own. So many of your meals are provided, but you'll also have time to explore on your own. That little double arrow icon there stands for Choice on Tour that I mentioned earlier, when you have the option of choosing how you'd like to spend your time on a given day. Again, the tour is May 8th through 16, 2025. The travel style is Spotlight, meaning that you will have just one hotel, you unpack once, and you have the convenience and the comfort of just a single hotel for the entirety of your stay. Okay, this next slide is your 30,000-foot perspective of what your tour is going to look like. The dot there, the black dot in the middle of the map with the number 7, that indicates the number of nights that you're going to spend in the hotel in Nice, in beautiful Nice. Then you're going to have day excursions to Monaco, Saint-Jean-Cap-Ferrat, Saint-Paul-du-Vence, Grasse, Cannes, and Santanoa Island. The activity level on this tour is a 3. The Spotlight tour has a maximum of 44 passengers, okay? And then back to the activity level, so a 3. This means that you should feel comfortable on your feet, walking or standing at a moderate pace for up to 2.5 hours per day, and then feeling comfortable climbing at least 3 flights of stairs and maybe navigating a variety of terrains. There will be definitely some hills associated with this tour, so you just want to make sure you're in shape. I always encourage people to go to their local high school track and walk some laps around the track, or spend some time walking around your neighborhood, just to make sure that you're in tip-top shape so you can really enjoy your tour. Okay, so you have an overnight flight. You arrive in the beautiful, stunning city of Nice, a coastal pearl of the Mediterranean known for its legendary opulence and balmy beaches. And according to archaeological sites, the area of Nice has been occupied since 350 BC. It was originally named by the Greeks after Nike, the goddess of victory. And you'll be happy to know that there is an average of 300 sunny days per year, so Nice truly is a seaside paradise. It's wrought with elegant coastal resorts, superb eateries, chic boutiques, captivating museums, and it's truly a sunny retreat for the elite. You're going to have a great time. Unpack your bags once in a beautiful hotel, all 7 nights in the same location. It'll be very, very relaxing and immersive. The first night, you're going to have a welcome dinner with your fellow passengers. It's a great way to get to know other people, not only in your greater community that are traveling with your group, but there's a very good chance that you're going to meet fellow Americans from elsewhere across the country that meet you in destination. And you'll likely make fast friends with people from around the country. Once in a while, there's a Canadian or 2 mixed in, also an Australian, because we have offices in both of those countries. People hear about the tour and they like to join in the fun as well. On day 3, you're going to step into the shoes of a local and navigate the tram in the morning with your tour manager. They'll help you get familiar with the routes and how to use it to your advantage during some of your free time. And then with a local expert, you're going to discover Nice by meandering through the city's famed and colorful flower market. And then you're going to delve into Old Town, sampling some local delicacies while you're on a tasting tour. And then the rest of the day is going to be yours to enjoy at your leisure. Perhaps you'll return to your hotel or stroll along the lively seafront promenade, Des Anglais. You may even stay downtown and visit one of Nice's world-class art galleries, such as the Chagall or the Matisse. Or perhaps you're just going to find your favorite place to soak in the sun along the waterfront. On day 4, you're going to travel to the Principality of Monaco. You'll take a walking tour that will introduce you to the Place des Armes Avenue and the Des Beaux-Arts, which is an art area, and then the Cathedral of Monaco, permanent resting place for Prince Rainier III and Princess Grace. Then you're going to view the changing of the guards at the Prince's Palace, which has been the official home to the Sovereign Prince and has been a fortress since 1191. And then here's an example of choice on tour. You'll have the option of taking the little train to Monte Carlo, or you can go to the Oceanographic Museum. This is an inclusion. There's no extra fee for this. It's built into your overall investment. And so you can take the little train to Monte Carlo. As mentioned, you'll have views of the famous casino of Monte Carlo. It's located in the luxurious resort area of Monaco, and the casino is frequently seen in popular media. It's called the coast that's home for the past 150 years. And then there's also the opportunity to go to the Oceanside Cliff in Monaco, to the Oceanographic Museum, which is founded by Prince Albert II of Monaco's great-grandfather, Prince Albert. The museum is renowned throughout the world for its expertise and has more than 6,000 specimens on display, many of which were amassed by the great French researcher Jacques Cousteau. On day 5, you're going to be welcomed in Grasse. It's featured as the world's capital of perfume. You're going to learn the secrets of perfume making during a hands-on workshop. You're going to tour the Fragonard perfumery, where fragrant formulations have been prepared since the year 1782. And then you're going to spend time soaking up the atmosphere in this charming town before returning to Nice for an evening at leisure. On day 6, you're going to journey to Cannes and rub elbows with Europe's elite. You'll soak in the sunshine, breathe the salty ocean air. This will be the festival's off-season. The town is a little more peaceful than when there's the bustling crowd and the Cannes Music Festival is in full swing. You will have a chance to walk in the footsteps of the celebrities when you see the Film Festival Palace and the iconic red carpet featured during the festival. It was founded in 1946 and features a wide selection of cinema short films and international favorites. Then during free time, you're going to explore the cobbled lanes of the Lausuque neighborhood, or the Fortvilla Farmers Market. On day 6, you're going to sail across the Bay of Cannes to a tiny little island of Santa Noja. It's a fortified monastery been active since the Dark Ages, and it belongs to the monks of Léron Abbey. You'll pause to taste local wine that's produced on site, and then you'll return to Nice late in the afternoon. You'll have a nice, wonderful, savory dinner that will delight you and your taste buds in the south of France. On day 7, you'll head to Saint-Jean-Cap-Ferrat. It's referred to as the crown jewel of the French Riviera. You can see by the photo here, it's absolutely splendid. While you're visiting, you'll take in the impressive Villa Afrusi di Rochilda. It's a breathtaking rose-colored building that will absolutely mesmerize you. And then you can uncover the lush gardens replete with jaw-dropping views of the Mediterranean Sea. Ultimately, you'll spend time in a villa that's complete with lunch served in the charming tea room overlooking the Bay of Villafranche. And then back in Nice, you'll enjoy free time to relax, take in the laid-back atmosphere along the Riviera, maybe take a second stroll along the Des Anglais, or set off in search for some whimsical architecture of the St. Nicholas Cathedral. There's an optional tour that you may be of interest to you to Montagne, and it's considered to be the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful corners of France. History stands still, and you can be seen in the French Riviera's shuttered villa, the terracotta roofs, dreamy beaches, and vast lemon gardens. So definitely take a peek at that online. There's more detail about this optional excursion. And then on day 8, you're going to venture to the historic Saint-Paul-du-Vence and the Artist's Haven situated atop the hill overlooking the beautiful countryside of Provence. It's a walled medieval village. It's full of traditional buildings, hidden alleyways, incredible restaurants, and several specialty shops. And you'll explore and soak in the distinctive light said to have inspired Matisse, Braque, and Chagall, along with other artists. And then ultimately, you're going to have a farewell dinner with your fellow travelers and celebrate the end of an unforgettable trip. Another nice photo there of Nice. And then here's the information regarding the investment level. So again, the title of the tour, Explore the French Riviera. It's a spotlight tour. You'll stay in one hotel the entire duration, May 8th through 16th of next year. The investment per person double occupancy, which means each person in that twosome would invest $45.49. That includes round-trip airfare from PDX and all the transportation that I talked about earlier to and from the airport, and then once you land in Nice, it would include transportation from the airport to the hotel and vice versa. Of course, along with all the transportation as part of the tour experience itself. So we did choose to fly out of PDX. I know it says PDX or Tri-Cities. PDX has been the choice for a variety of reasons. And again, the bonus, the book now and save bonus of $100 is baked into the pricing that you see right there. The deposit due date and seat reduction date is November 2nd. It's coming up rather quickly, so keep that in mind. The deposit, if you want to lock in a spot on this tour, is $698 per person, and then the optional travel protection plan insurance is $549 per person. Okay, if you are interested in the insurance, please make note that it is due at the same time that the deposit is made. It is an option, but boy, we strongly encourage it. To give you an example, if somebody was traveling as a solo traveler, their investment would be, as it's depicted here on the slide, $5,549. Let's say on May 6th, 2 days before departure, that person twisted their ankle, was on crutches, and unable to navigate on foot. With the insurance coverage, they would be able to call Collette, cancel their trip for any reason up until the day before the departure. They would get 100% of their money back. All $5,549 would be credited back to them in a full refund, and the cost of that would be the insurance premium that they paid of $549. It's also important to note that that covers medical assistance while you're on tour, luggage loss, delay, evacuation. That's all covered in that insurance policy. Do know that the insurance policy price is based upon the tour, not based upon a person's age or wellness level. So there's no questionnaire that you have to complete. You can simply book the insurance if you're interested in doing that. Ultimately, if you make a deposit and or with or without the insurance, your monies are fully refundable through November 9th. So there's no risk to your money if you decide that you are excited about this, you want to put a deposit down, you can do so, lock in a place for yourself on the tour. If for any reason you decide to change your mind up until November 9th, you could cancel and get a full refund of both your insurance and your deposit amounts. Final payment is due on February 7th, which is 90 days before departure. Okay? And if you have any questions that are specific to the pricing, etc., please reach out to Heather at the Chamber of Commerce. She'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have, or she can triage with us at Collette and get back to you with the answers that you seek. Okay, on this particular tour, you can choose to extend your stay and go to Paris. I mean, why not, right? You're already in the French Riviera, and if you've never seen Paris, it's definitely worth a quick jaunt. It is a fully guided tour. I mean, first of all, you're going to believe that it was completed right before the Olympics. So upon your landing, you're going to have a chance to discover the City of Light, Paris, and you'll work with a local guide that will take you to see some of these iconic sites. You'll also visit the neighborhood of Montmartre, blending artistic roots and quirky modernity, the 18th century arrondissement. It's home to classical painters and cultural provocateurs. And then after you try a local cafe, you'll take time to explore the neighborhood on your own. And then you'll maybe discover the Arc de Triomphe or the L'Opéra district, the Champs-Élysées, all sorts of wonderful, iconic sites to see in Paris. On day 11, your last day in Paris, you'll explore the Marais, a trendy district with winding streets and gorgeous old mansions, independent boutiques, and just really immerse yourself in all things Paris. And then in the evening, you'll take an exclusive view from the tower in Paris and just take in the beautiful lights of the City of Light. Okay, so there you have it. That's the extension. We're going to shift gears now to another difficult language, Icelandic. And here it is, Iceland's Magical Northern Lights. It's a 7-day tour. It includes 11 meals. It's November 10th through the 16th of 2025. An amazing tour, one of the most popular tours that Collette offers. It's a beautiful contrast, the land, the culture forged by fire and ice. You've probably heard there are active volcanoes, and of course there's lots of ice. So from steaming lava fields reflecting the volcanic nature of the country, massive glaciers that sculpt the mountains and valleys, and thundering waterfalls and plunging fjords, there's really something for everybody, especially if you love raw natural beauty. Here's your tour at a glance. You have your overnight flight to Reykjavik, and you'll spend 2 nights in Reykjavik. You'll spend 3 nights in Vík, and then back to Reykjavik. Along the route, you're going to see the Seljalandsfoss and the Jökulsárlón locations, the lagoon, Jökulsárlón Lagoon, and the Seljalandsfoss waterfall, along with the Gullfoss waterfall. We'll talk a little bit about that here in the coming slides. This is a classic tour, so again, 37 average passengers on average, and then a maximum of 44. It's all about the iconic sites, and again, immersing you into the culture of all things Iceland. It's an activity level 3, so again, you're going to want to feel comfortable on your feet for up to 2.5 hours at a moderate pace. There will definitely be some uneven terrain on this particular tour, but the scenery is well worth it. Here's our tour manager, Luciana. She's a local expert, and she's the regional destination manager for Iceland and Scandinavia. So she's delightful, and she knows everything there is to know about your experience that you'll have in Iceland. Okay, so let's talk for a minute about what causes the northern lights. They're actually created by interaction between the solar wind from the sun and Earth's magnetic field. And as the particles from the solar wind run into the magnetosphere, they make molecules in our atmosphere that glow. It's truly breathtaking when you get to witness it. Of course, we can't guarantee that you're going to see the northern lights, but there's a very, very good chance that you will, and we do everything in our power to make sure that you can take that in. Typically, they are in greenish and white colors, but on occasion, you'll see them in a reddish hue and in other colors of the spectrum. They're quite beautiful. Okay, so your tour is going to begin. You're on your way to Iceland. Again, culture forged in land and ice. Here's some tips. The time zone is 4 hours ahead of Eastern time. You definitely want to pack layers because it can be chilly, especially when you're out on a boat looking for the Aurora Borealis. The currency is the Icelandic krona. Basically, $1 equals 138 krona. And then, of course, the long twilight, certain times of year. Here's beautiful Reykjavik right here. This is where your adventure begins after your overnight flight. You'll dive straight into the comfort guaranteed hotel early check-in. Your room's going to be ready, breakfast as well, and you'll even appreciate it because you're going to have, you'll be a little bit tired after your flight, but the hotel is located right downtown in Reykjavik, near all the best things to take in. So again, you just walk outside your hotel and you'll be close to all the action. Reykjavik means Smoky Bay, and it's so named because of the steam from the hot springs. And I love this photo right here. It's actually designated as a UNESCO City of Literature. With this nomination, Reykjavik actually joins Edinburgh, Melbourne, and Iowa City, and Dublin as the 5th city of Literature and Creative Cities Network. Reykjavik is the first non-native English-speaking city to receive the title. So you're going to definitely get to know Reykjavik with your local guide. You're going to walk through Old Town in Reykjavik. You're going to see the bustling harbor, the historical city center, the Parliament building, and an age-old cathedral which dates all the way back to 1796. You're going to pass by a statue of Leif Erikson in front of the Hallgrímskirkja, which is the largest church in Iceland. Say that 10 times fast. Hallgrímskirkja. The statue of Leif Erikson was a gift from the United States to the country on the 1000th anniversary of Leif's discovery of North America. He was born in Iceland, the first son of Eric the Red, and he set out from Greenland and landed in Newfoundland in the year 1000 AD. And then, of course, in the afternoon, after exploring Reykjavik by foot, you're going to gather with your tour buddies over some local Icelandic cuisine, and you're going to love how this looks. Absolutely delicious. Icelandic food is excellent. And then you're going to get ready for an adventure. Tonight, the first night that you're going to be out looking for the Aurora Borealis is an absolute showstopper. You're going to hit the pitch black waters of Faxaflói Bay. And of course, the mission is to find those mesmerizing, dancing images of the Aurora Borealis. These are actual photos that were taken. And then on day 3, you're going to travel from Reykjavik to Vík. And it's all about the journey. It's the jewel of Iceland. It's a small village, Vík, cradled between glaciers and renowned for its stunning black sand beaches. So it also runs along the Golden Circle, which is a stunning, scenically beautiful drive. So on your journey to Vík, you're going to go by the geyser, the Gullfoss waterfall, Þingvellir National Park, en route to searching again for the Northern Lights. You're going to stop at the famous thermal area. It's the geyser is actually pronounced Geysir in Icelandic, and the hot spring is Strákur, the explosive vertical spouts. The geyser is one of Iceland's most consistent geothermic fountains, erupting every 6 to 10 minutes and sprays water to a feet of 90 to 150 feet in height. And then after that, you're going to go on a short journey to Gullfoss waterfall. You can see here, if you look very closely on the left-hand side of the image, you can see small little people wandering along a trail to give you some sense of the size of this waterfall. It's truly mesmerizing. It's a double cascading waterfall, and it is referred to as a golden waterfall in Icelandic because on a sunny day, the water takes on a golden brown hue, living up to its namesake. But the water plunges down a 3-step staircase and then tumbles down into a 2-step crevice below. It's absolutely beautiful. Then you're going to head to Þingvellir National Park, and from there, you're going to experience Earth's most geologically significant landscape. It's the crest of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which means in a geologic sense, you're standing and straddling 2 continents, the point where the North America and Eurasian tectonic plates are moving apart from one another. So this is the spot where the divergent zone marks the point of our planet where the Earth's crust is the thinnest. So here's another image of Þingvellir National Park. It's the nation's most historic area and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Icelanders gathered here in 930 AD to establish the world's first parliament. And then on the next portion of your trip, you're going to learn about lava. At the Lava Exhibition Center, you're going to do a deep dive into Iceland's past and present volcanic eruptions, which there have been many in recent years. You're going to learn about the surrounding history of eruptions along with the current lava flows, and you'll get a glimpse into the science behind the volcanic landscape and the frequent earthquakes as well. And then you're going to take in the very beautiful Seljalandsfoss waterfall. Here you can see there's a path behind the waterfall You definitely want to wear a parka because the mist is strong. It's a very thundering waterfall, quite beautiful. And then here, I'm about to show you a small time-lapse video of the Northern Lights in Vik. Kind of gives you a sense of what that would look like if you were there in person. And then your adventure base while you're in Vik is the amazing Hotel Dir Hol A. It's family run, just like Collette, by the way. It's known for its amazing views in all directions, Mir Dalar Valley, and then Dir Hol A Peninsula, which you'll see a photo of here momentarily. Then you're going to spend the time exploring Vik. You're going to wake up, have a lovely breakfast, and then take off for the day. Your adventure is going to include the Reynisfjara Beach, Skovur Museum, Skogafoss Waterfall, Solheimajökull Glacier, and many other sites along the way. You'll start with the Reynisfjara Beach. This is where the magic meets the ocean. Reynisfjara Beach is a volcanic sandy beach surrounded by basalt formations and home to thousands of nesting seabirds. Then you're going to take in the natural rock formations. This is Dir Hola A. It's a small peninsula created by volcanic activity that towers over the ocean, some 120 feet above the water. There was actually a plane that flew underneath the arch years ago. But basically, it's been created by the erosion of the rock as a result of the sea and the giant basalt column that just over millennia starts to erode. On day 4, you're going to drive to Iceland's past at the Skovur Museum, and you'll also visit the Skogafoss waterfall. You'll get a glimpse into the rich history of Iceland through the museum experiences. It's like traveling back into time, turf-built homes. There's 18,000 regional artifacts, and many of those homes are combined. It's really a living history book. Here's a closer look at the Skovur Museum. And then here's the impressive Skogafoss waterfall. It's one of the largest in Iceland, with a width of 82 feet and a drop of 200 feet. And due to the amount of spray the waterfall consistently produces, a rainbow is normally visible on sunny days. It's truly a thundering sound when you get near that waterfall. And then you're going to head out to Solheimajökull. It's Iceland's 4th largest glacier. Incredible to think how old the glaciers are. The ice here is over 1,000 years old. And here's a quick little video here to show you some people walking along the glacier. And then you're going to wrap up the day with dinner, and then it's off for another night of aurora chasing. These are actual photos of the aurora borealis on this particular tour. And then on day 5, you'll still be in Vik, rise and shine for breakfast again, and then you're going to travel through the beautiful area of the Jökulsárlón Iceberg Lagoon. And you can see how beautiful everything is in the lagoon. There's also Vatnajökull, Iceland's largest national park and home to the country's highest mountains. So here is Jökulsárlón, the glacial lagoon, where floating icebergs tell the tales of ancient Arctic winters. See some video here of the seals. And some of the icebergs, as mentioned earlier, they're composed of ice that's over 1,000 years old. So you can definitely search the lagoon for swimming seals. It's brilliant water. And another fun fact, the greenish hue of the iceberg is because of the compressed ice from ancient snowfalls. And then on day 5, after a day of exploring, you're going to head back for dinner and then set out yet again to chase the northern lights. We want to make sure we do everything humanly possible so that you can see the northern lights. And then from Vik, you're going to head back to Reykjavik, and you'll have a little dance of some fire and water. Of course, there's the active volcano, completely safe. We never tour to Iceland unless we know that it's safe for our passengers. And you're going to be at the crown jewel, the iconic Blue Lagoon. It's nestled in the heart of the dramatic lavascape, and it's a mineral-rich geothermal water area where you can actually truly experience Iceland, the heat and the water combined. The milky hue, kind of a fun fact, the milky hue is rich in silica and sulfur. So while the lagoon is primarily known for its relaxation benefits, many believe that these minerals can help alleviate skin conditions such as psoriasis, etc. So here's a nice picture of the lagoon right here. And you'll have a chance to soak in the steamy waters and just take in the sights around you. There's a little video right here.
Iceland has become somewhat of a trending travel destination, but there's a real reason for that. It is beautiful and majestic. Everywhere you go, you're greeted as a friend. You're going to see things here that you can't see anywhere else in the world. You'll have an opportunity to see the geothermic power of Iceland with the hot water shooting up into the air hundreds of feet high. We head on to Gullfoss, a spectacular double fall waterfall. Most people just do the Golden Circle, but we head out to the south coast and stop at Seljalandsfoss. We go out and explore the Reynisfjara black sand beach. We have a day where we head out to Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon, blue ice that breaks off of the Vatnajökull Glacier. That ends up on Diamond Beach, where you have these clear as glass pieces that are on the black sand beach. We take a day to go to Skogafoss. We really do focus on going out every night that we can to see the Northern Lights. We end with the ultimate in relaxation when we go to the Blue Lagoon. They leave seeing so much more that they never expected to see. Iceland is really more than a vacation, it's an adventure. It's really truly something you're not going to see anywhere else in any of your travels, no matter where you go. So make sure that you get to Iceland. It's just the most wonderful place to visit.
All right, and then in the evening you gather for your fellow travelers and toast to your Icelandic adventure. A little testimonial here from a Collette Traveler, which is kind of fun. Lucky enough to see Northern Lights 2 evenings in a row. Kind of a fun fact, also hot dogs, known locally as pilsur, hugely popular in Iceland. So if you need some fill of some American food, you'll have access to hot dogs. All right, and that's the end of the tour. Here's the information about the investment level. So per person double occupancy, $4,749 per person if you're traveling as a twosome. I also want to make sure everybody knows that single or solo travelers are welcome on Collette Tours. You'll meet plenty of wonderful people, and you'll also, of course, build rapport with your tour manager and expert local tour guides. And if you're interested in traveling with a community member, a fellow community member as travel pals, again, please let Heather know at the Chamber of Commerce, and she might be able to make introductions, and then you can go out and have a cup of coffee and make sure you're compatible with your fellow traveler, you know, in case you snore or something like that. All right, so your seat reduction date on this is May 4th. You've got plenty of time to make a decision as to whether or not you'd like to attend this particular tour. And here's the information on Book Now and Save. And then you can also register online if you're interested in these tours. I know that there are links, I believe, on the Chamber website, and there's also access at the Chamber here with flyers. There is a custom web page for each one of these tours. You can type it into your search bar, press enter, and it will take you to a web page that looks just like this, where you can gather all the information necessary. And then the group web page will outline details, highlights, pricing, essential experiences, your itinerary at a glance, your detailed full view itinerary, and then also information about the insurance coverage, and then ultimately travel tips. For example, arrival day suggestions in Reykjavik. So this is all available for you, and then you can also register online by selecting the drop-down menus. There's a navigation bar 1 through 5. You know, if you're interested, you can hit the click button for book now or sign up now, and it will take you through this process. All right, there's the webpage for France. And then for passport information, when you do register, please make sure that you take your name exactly the way it reads on your passport, and use that same the same way your name appears in your passport on your registration documents online with Collette. It's very important that your name matches, so that when your airline ticket is issued, it matches your passport. Also, your passport needs to be valid for up to 6 months beyond the last date that you'll be in the destination country. So you have plenty of time to prepare for both of these trips, so please make sure you have a valid passport. If it's not valid, or at least up to 6 months beyond the last date you'll be traveling, it's probably a good idea to order a new passport. And then nothing to worry about right now. This will start in probably May of 2025. There's a special travel authorization for the Schengen area countries, of which Iceland will be one of, as well as France. And this detail will be communicated at an appropriate time when this actually travel. Always like to remind everybody, 7th, to travel in the United States, if you don't have your passport with you, you will need a domestic real ID to board a flight and pass the TSA guidelines. And then, as a thank you for traveling with us, we'll automatically enroll you in the Passport Club. It's basically free money. When you travel, when you get back home, you'll have a 5% loyalty credit on a portion of your tour that will apply to your next tour within the first 12 months, or a 3% loyalty credit if you travel between 13 and 24 months into the future. And for those people who have traveled, optional. Thank you very much, folks. Appreciate your
presentation. I'd like to thank Andy for driving all the way over here to share all of this with us. I really hope to hear from you. These are going to be some really exciting things. Like Commerce, leave your car, free parking for the 9 days, or the I think the other one was 7 days. 7-day trip. You get transportation to the airport and back, round trip airfare, accommodations, food, and a lot of guided tours. We hope to see you guys all there.